Hello there, this is Nikolai, the manga boomer.
And I am Kai, the anime zoomer. And this is our podcast, Anime Zoomer.
And manga boomer. Hello there to the first episode of the second season of the Anime Zoomer and Manga Boomer podcast. Today we will give you a guide on how to start watching anime or reading manga. Topics will be where to watch, how to read, how to inform yourself about what to watch/read, an explanation of genre that we would recommend as a starting point, and recommendations for said genres. So in the beginning, let's make a let's have a short discussion on how to get into anime and manga. Do you know any means how to get into said medias?
Mm, um, Definitely, social media is a great way to learn more about anime because there are a lot of edits or memes about a specific anime. And if you like those memes or edits, then you can definitely check out the anime that's portrayed there.
Expected answer from Bizuma.
Of course.
Then the more boomer answer for me are TV or the modern version streaming service like Prime and Netflix. I mean, when on Netflix, for example, some anime is on rank 1, maybe some people are going to check it out. Who
Hmm.
knows?
Yes.
Do you have any other method of getting into? Because I have at least one more.
Yes, you can definitely check out my anime list or AniList to check what's popular there, and then maybe give it a watch what you see on those sites.
Yes, but you know those sites when you're already into anime.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe you know it because of a friend who watches anime and he told you there's a site for this.
Yes, Friends was the point I want to mention next.
Hmm.
Nice. Then we have this quick introduction part finished and can get to the main point. How to gather information and decide what to watch or to read. Should we start with anime or should we start with manga?
I think we can make both, I guess.
Yes. Then for manga, I want to start with one important decision is reading physically or reading digitally. I'm
Hmm.
a physical reader. I like to collect. It's nice to have books in my hand, but they are expensive and waste a lot of space.
Yes.
And I think you're on the other spectrum, right?
Yes, most likely. I have some manga at home, but they are not that much. I mean, I have 50 to around 100, but I read more physically. Uh, Digital.
Digitally, yes. Then what are the upsides of reading digitally?
Um, I mean, you can read for free online. There are websites for manga where you can read for free. You don't need any space for your phone.
Websites are also legal, like Manga Plus.
Mm.
That's a big W.
Yes, and you can read weekly, and you can read just one chapter or two chapters if you want. You don't have to read the full volume if you don't want to.
Yes, you are up to date. That's also nice.
Mm.
Plus, one upside of reading digitally is that you can take the manga easier with you. Like, for example, you know the Giga Chonka Vinland Saga volumes I have.
Yes.
I can't take them with me to uni. That would be dumb.
Yes.
Because my backpack would be full. Or
Mm.
when I go on vacation. Like, if I put 5 of them in my backpack, then I had too much weight. You need to pay
Yes,
extra.
you would lean to the back and would fall.
Yes. But taking a tablet or a smartphone with you, it's easy.
Mm.
No space or extra weight.
Yes. And if you want to download them, I think they are like 50 megabytes or something, one chapter, like not much space
Yes,
on your
that's also
cloud.
easy. Then you are the anime man.
Hmm.
How would you start watching anime, or where would you start if you want to decide what to watch?
Um, I will check my anime list because I'm like almost 300 anime deep. And if I see an anime and I check my anime list first and check off if the rating is good, if the guys who watched it rated it high, and if it's good, then I will give it a watch.
Yes, on sites like my AniList or AniList, you can search out a lot of different opinions and the average rating or
Hmm.
popularity.
Yes.
I also use AniList or my anime list. Those sites are also nice to know if a series is concluded or if it's still ongoing,
Yes.
and
Yes.
if it's adapted from a manga or an original.
Hmm. Yes. My
How
an
important are. Oh, sorry. Go on.
my anime list or anime lists are very good for beginners, for guys who are into anime since a long time. A very good website. Good websites.
Yes. How important are the scores to you? I mean, obviously, we wouldn't watch a show that has like a 5 point something, but
Hmm.
does it matter for you if the score is like 8 point something or 7 point something? Because taste is still subjective.
Mm, I check. I always check if the thumbnail, I mean the pic on the top hand side looks promising. I look at the actors. I look at the genre, and if everything is fits with me, then I will watch it. I don't look at the rating that much. I just look at it if it's like like you said, 5 point something. I wouldn't watch it.
Yes. Same goes for me. Are there any other sites or social media platforms where you gather information?
Of course, I use Instagram and I'm browsing like 30% of the day on Instagram, and then
Damn.
I come across a lot of anime posts. So yeah, I will put them in my list if they look nice and funny and stuff, if they fit my taste.
Okay. And you've mentioned before already some criteria that you are looking out for. I
Hmm.
think for anime and manga there are some similar criteria.
Yes.
For example, art/animation, character designs. I think those can be universally applied to both genres.
Hmm. Yep.
Because if the art is the most eye-catching thing, which should catches your eye immediately,
Hmm.
and it's a thing that you can rate without having read the manga, because even though people are saying the story is good, you need to read it to confirm if it's good or not.
Yes.
But you can see with your naked eye if the art is good,
Yep.
just if you see one panel.
It's very important.
Then, if you browse on social media, do you have any specific creators, or are you just watching some random edits or posts?
Hmm. I'm just watching random posts. I scroll through Instagram and maybe I stumble across a nice meme or something, and then I'm like, looks cool. I will give it a watch. Something like this.
For me, it's the other way around. I have a few creators who have similar taste like me. So I know if they like my manga, then it should be interesting for me.
Hmm.
Because it's nice to have people online that have a similar taste for you. But if you have this approach, you need to be careful of parasocial connections. Don't
Yes.
trust people blindly online.
Hmm.
That's never good.
Yes.
But you can trust us blindly, of course, because our recommendations are always goated.
Hmm.
Easy clap. So here, this parasocial connections disclaimer doesn't apply.
Of course.
Then on to the next point.
Yep.
Or do we have anything else to add on what to read and how to decide?
Nope. Not really.
Okay, then one other important question is where to read or where to watch.
Hmm.
And for the manga side, not where to read, I misspoke. The question is where to buy if you're a physical collector like me.
Yes.
Should we go over anime first or manga?
You can go with manga first.
Okay. If you want to buy manga, always support your local bookstores or comic stores. That's important.
Hmm.
Because without those, there wouldn't be a manga industry. And without the manga industry, there wouldn't be an anime industry. Simple as that.
Yep.
But if you have to buy online, there's obviously one really big, really big company. It's Amazon.
Hmm.
And I don't tend to buy that much on Amazon besides English manga because I live in Germany and it's not that easy to get a hold of English manga in Germany because different language, different country.
Hmm.
So for that, Amazon is really nice if you have Prime because the delivery is free and fast.
Yes.
They don't have to pay a lot of money for shipping.
Hmm.
So if you want to, so definitely you need to check out your specific companies or bookstores that ship in your country. Because
Yes.
besides Amazon, there aren't that much global shipping companies.
Hmm.
And for reading online, there are also some local apps besides Manga Plus. I think the Americans has something similar like the Viz app, for example, where they also have the news chapters from stuff that Viz publishes, the biggest publisher for the English-speaking manga.
No, I didn't know that.
It costs a few bucks, I think, but it's only $3 or $4, so
Ah, okay.
it's doable.
Is it a
But we don't have
monthly?
it. It's monthly, yes.
Ah.
But I don't think we can have it in Germany unless we have a VPN.
Hmm.
And at least for me, I'm not going to give you tips where you can get your stuff illegally. So those are all the legal tips that I have. Because there can be sometimes problems. More on the anime side than the manga side, but on the manga side, there are still some problems with
Hmm.
region logs or stuff not being available in your region.
Yes.
I think that's it for the manga side.
Yes. So for the anime side, you definitely have the biggest anime streaming service, which is Crunchyroll, which
Yes.
has a lot of anime in store for you. I don't know how big the palette is of Crunchyroll, but it's quite big.
I mean, it's an anime only streaming site, so
Hmm.
it's also not that expensive.
Yes. I think $10.
If that's the premium version. I think the standard version is $8, 8 or 7.
I mean, $3 more can't hurt you.
Yes.
Yes, but of course there's Amazon Prime, which has nowadays some pretty solid anime actually in store.
And there's some extra channels that you can book on Prime as well,
Hmm.
depending on what your country has to offer.
Yes. And there's actually Disney Plus, which has some, only a handful, but they have some.
The famous Disney Plus jail. Everything
Mm,
that goes onto Disney Plus is irrelevant and forgotten in
yes,
the anime community.
true.
But it's a nice starting point for normies because they have Disney because of Star Wars, Marvel, and whatsoever.
Mm. And of course, Netflix has some anime.
Netflix has some bangers, actually.
Yes. I mean, they have JoJo's, they have Dan Dan Dan,
Vinland Saga, Demon
Vinland Saga.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Also country dependent, obviously. We are speaking from our German perspective.
Mm.
So my question is, if you have a guy who's new into anime and manga,
Mm.
would you recommend them to get a Crunchyroll subscription, or are they just fine for beginning with Prime or Netflix?
Um, they are definitely fine with Prime and Netflix at first. If they want to go deeper, then they should definitely go to
Yes, I
Crunchyroll.
would agree. Prime and Netflix are fine for beginning to watch like your first handful of shows.
Mm. But yeah, if you are into it, then you definitely have to go on Crunchyroll.
Yes. Also, a tool that is a bit on the gray side is getting a VPN service if you want to stream more anime and manga. Because you know, region locks are a thing, and VPN bypass that region lock.
Mm.
Do you have one or
Nope, I don't have one.
Midiva? But I
I
heard they're useful.
They are, but I don't care. I have my website where I can watch everything.
Ah, yeah.
I
Das
I
hast
I don't mention it.
Okay, then there's one last point I want to talk about, where you can go back to the previous part on how to decide what to watch.
Mm.
Are there any criteria that discourage you from watching a show? For example, maybe if it's too long, if you know it's not getting a second season, and so forth.
Um, I mean, I hear a lot of people complain about One Piece being too long, and a lot of people don't watching it because it's too long in their opinion. But I don't agree with that because One Piece isn't just about raw fighting and stuff. It's more about that. Um, yes. I don't care if it has a second season. I watched No Game No Life, so yeah.
The classic.
mm, yes. So those aren't criteria for me.
But it can be really disheartening to find a show like No Game in Life that you really like, and to know that there won't be a second season.
Yeah.
It's a hard realization that even some of the fans haven't made it. They are still coping.
Yep. I
But for
mean,
me, it's oh sorry, go on.
it's fine. You can live with it. Yeah, then you can go watch something else. Then I mean, there are a lot of anime that are similar in some ways. So there's definitely some anime that's in some way like No Game No Life.
Yes. I think for the manga side, it's more important to search out information about the show, the manga that you want to read, like the length. At least
Mm,
if you are a physical collector, because space and money are limited.
yes.
And you need to think twice about if you are going to buy a series which has 30 or 50 volumes. Do you have the space? Do you have the money? And do you have the time to read it?
Mm,
Because yes, I could buy the whole of One Piece, but I have already watched or read it. Do I really need my manga now just to have it in my collection?
nah.
Or do I need this shown, which is 30 volumes long or 50? Do I have the time to read it? Maybe, maybe not.
Hmm.
Because if I buy something, I want to read it.
Yes.
And if I start something, I want to finish it if I enjoy it.
Hmm. Yes.
Anything else that you want to give the new anime and manga fans as a guidance, or
Mm, I don't know. I have nothing in mind.
then we can go on towards the next part and we can recommend the genres that anime and manga have to offer.
Hmm.
So, genres are next. But first, what is actually a genre? A genre is the setting that describes what is happening in the show. Like, for example, fantasy is fantastical elements. In romance, there's a relationship in the focus between the characters. Science fiction is advanced tech. Action is explosions and fights, yada yada yada.
Hmm.
And genres are a really helpful tool to search out what you like.
Yes.
And genres are also important to define your taste because if you've watched or read a lot of stuff, then you will have some favorite genres. And because of that, now we are talking about our favorite genres that we recommend you to delve into deeper.
Hmm.
For me, in the beginning, we have the fantasy genre. The fantasy genre is a genre that thrives because of its fantastical elements. Who could have thought about it? And examples of those fantastical elements are other worlds, worlds that are influenced through magic, or the existence of fantastical races.
Hmm.
So, a great fantasy should excel in at least one or all of those aspects. Or another great aspect of fantasy is there's a fantastical world hidden beneath our world. Harry Potter is a famous example outside of the anime and manga world. My first recommendation is linked to a bit to Harry Potter, Witched Italia. It's a manga about magic, where we have a young boy Coco delving into the world of witches and magic. But the magic is kept hidden, like in Harry Potter, and that's the most important part of that series. And that's the main conflict. There are people, the villains, who want magic to be free for everyone, and the good side basically is keeping the magic secret because magic is a powerful tool, and with that, a lot of wars will be started and bad things will be happening. So a great aspect about Witched Italia is that it can answer what is right or wrong. Should magic be free or should it not be free? And it has also one of the best drawn art styles, especially for fantasy. You can feel the magic. I feel like a little child when I'm reading it. The next manga, one of your favorites, not, is Frieren, obviously.
Hmm.
The number one rated anime on Mal, but we are talking about manga. It's a great, comforting manga, slow pace. Yes, but comfort is really nice to have. Something that you can read and relax. You can also learn a lot of from the story for your real life, how valuable time is. Mr. Zuma, who spends 30% of his day at his smartphone. That's why I don't like the show, because you can relate with time and the importance of it. Yes, yes, I see. And there's also some great emotional moments. The story is also about an elf who's traveling, having a new journey after she completed the main quest, so also unique approach.
Hmm.
The last recommendation is Dore Doro. I can't summarize the story because it's one of the wildest, goriest, and dirtiest read you can have, with the most unique world and characters, especially Kaiman, our main protagonist. He's one of the most interesting and uniquely written characters in fiction. So, if you want to read something that is batshit insane, read Doro Doro. There are also a lot of fantastical elements because it's a fantasy recommendation. Then I'm finished with my first genre.
Okay. Then, of course, you know what will happen next because I'm glazing this genre a lot. Of course, it's the romance genre.
Obviously.
For me, the romance connoisseur, there wasn't a second thought about it.
Yes.
Yes, the romance genre is for guys who have a girlfriend or want to have a girlfriend and want to know how to get into a relationship and get some advice on how to get into a relationship. Yes. And of course, I will go with Kaguya-sama as my first pick for romance anime.
Solid choice.
Hmm. I mean, Kaguya-sama is the name is program in the show Love is War. The the main protagonists are always trying to bring the other one to confess and stuff like this, and it's a really good show. It's very enjoyable, so give it a watch.
Both on the romantic and the comedic side.
Mm.
Plus, I finished the manga recently, and there's actually kind of a serious story in the end, or the story is getting more serious as time progresses.
Ah, okay, I see. Yes, Kaguya-sama is definitely worth a watch if you like romance anime or romance series. So for my next pick, I will go with Snafu, my teen romantic comedy, which is also a rom-com. Um, in Snafu, there's one guy who's very smart who has some knowledge about other human beings who isn't just dumb like other romance MCs.
Most of them are as intelligent as a rock, or as
Yes.
creatures who live under a rock, named mainly Patrick.
Mm. Yes, he knows how to behave and how to how to say it the social has a
He
good
has
social awareness.
he
Let's
has
say it
he
like
has
this.
social skills, even though he behaves like an asshole at times. But when he does it, there's reasoning behind it.
Mm. He tries to bring the other one to make something that make them better, let's say it like this.
Yes.
And he always thinks he does everything right in his way, but he hurts others in this way. So he learns over time how to be better.
He's also, because of it, he's a flawed character with great character development.
Hmm. My teen romantic comedy is a very good rom-com. You should give it a watch.
Yes, I also like the female cast.
Yes. And let's go on to my last one for romance. It's Rascal Does Not Dream of a Bunny Girl Senpai, which is a show about a guy um who's the only one who can see the main character, my son, because she has some kind of puberty syndrome where she can't be seen by anyone.
It's like a
And
curse.
yes, over the time he tries his best to make others notice her, and over the time they fall in love because they spend time. So yeah, you
And
fall in love when you
because
spend.
she was invisible, she was wearing the famous bunny suit.
Mm, because no one noticed her, so she could do anything she wanted.
Yes. So, well. I have also a romance genre as well.
Wow, I wouldn't expect it.
And for me, romance has one important singular goal. you need to feel something, either positive or negative emotions. And for that, you need
Mm.
to have a deep connection with the characters. My
Yes.
first recommendation: A Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity, the series where I feel the most happiness and comfort while reading it. You can easily connect with the characters, and it has great artwork. It's as simple as that. My second recommendation is The Danger's in My Heart. It's a series where I feel the second most happiness and comfort. And you can also easily connect with the characters, especially with the main female lead. Yamada is nice friendly, and it's a very wholesome read. And my third recommendation is a unique romance. It's a bright story. It's a historical romance set in the Silk Road in the 18th century. So it's historical and it's ethnological because it's outside our normal culture and the Japanese culture. And because of that, you see how people are handling their romances or the romance in their culture. So you can see a lot of aspects which are foreign for us, which make it nice. Plus,
Mm.
the artwork is insanely good, and they are good characters as well. And the other series I mentioned before are your classical high school romances, so no plot summary was needed.
Mm.
Those tend to be samey.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can go on with your next job.
And who would have thought I would go with the shonen or action genre next?
Me not, definitely. No, no.
And my first choice is definitely obvious because I'm playing it a lot. It's One Piece. Who would have thought that? Yes, it's long, but push your stuff together and keep watching it. It is goated. Like One Piece, everyone knows what One Piece is about. Luffy wants to be the pirate king and wants to find the One Piece, and we can see his way to become the pirate king. He fights off strong enemies. He helps free people from how would you say
Evil rulers or
Herrscher?
dictators.
Yeah, evil rulers. It's a great story and has a very good world building. Everything is goated about One Piece.
Except a few
Peak.
certain things, but we are not bashing One Piece today.
Yes, and let's go on to the next one, which is Demon Slayer. Who would have thought that?
Who knows? Mentioning
Yes.
your favorite and second favorite anime back to back. It's unheard of.
Yes, Demon Slayer is. Um, I mean, Demon Slayer doesn't shine with its storyline or with the massive plot points it has. It shines with pretty clean animations and pretty nice artwork, nice choreography in the fights. For example, you can name the episode 19 of season 1, where you can see peak animation, peak storytelling, peak musical underlining. Episode 19 is banger.
Demon Slayer is like a one trick pony in League of Legends. It's really good at one thing. Really, really good. And because of that, it's popular.
Hmm.
Which is not a bad thing per se.
Yes.
Even though I also bash this show. But that will be mentioned again in later episodes.
And for my last one, I will go with the normie one, and I will
Demon Slayer is the Navi one, my guy.
no, not this one is even more normie than Demon Slayer because I think Attack on Titan has more viewers than yeah, it has. I checked it and it has more than Demon Slayer.
I Yes, because
So
Attack on Titan it's like the anime Game of Thrones. It came at a time
yes.
where anime weren't that popular, and it skyrocketed anime onto a new height of popularity.
Mm,
And you can tell the viewers why.
a lot of normies or not even anime watchers know the show. And this just means something if a lot of people who don't watch anime knows this anime. And Attack on Titan has some very good storytelling, you have to say. Um, yes, I didn't like the ending personally, but you can have your other opinion if you watched it. If not, go ahead and watch it.
I mean, endings are in general a different topic in every
Yeah,
media.
yeah, definitely. A lot of endings are shit in anime or manga. We made a part about it.
Yes, an older episode.
Mm. Yes, but it's definitely if you want to start into anime, go ahead and watch Attack on Titan. It's a very starter-friendly anime which has no hentai, baka moments, stuff like this.
No fan service.
Yeah,
Yes, plus you
so
can
that's
catch a lot of people with saying it's like Game of Thrones because it has convoluted plot lines and great twists.
mm,
So that's good for the normies.
yes. So that's about it for the shonen genre.
Well, I have at least the action genre as well, so I continue with that. My first recommendation is Argent. It's one for the gamers, especially the shooter players, because it has great and fluid action fights with guns who are inspired by shooters. I mean, there are some chapters who were named Modern Warfare, Bad Company, and like other famous shooter games or shooter missions. Plus, Arjun has one of the best antagonists, Sato, the man with a head, a goated character. And probably my favorite antagonist as well. And my next recommendation will be quick Sunken Rock. It has the best drawn action panel. That's facts. And my last recommendation is a dark fantasy show. It's Claymore. It has a unique cast, only females. It has great fights, a great flow while reading it, and some of the best impact panels. The moment where a big attack is landing. And for me, it has one of the best monster design in anime and manga. And for me, action, the most important thing for action is the choreography and the art, and the suspense that you have in the action. So I would say in this thing, art is more important than story writing in this genre. Then you can go on with your next genre.
Yes, and who would have thought that it's the isekai genre? Um, yes, what can I say? Isekai is some of the oversaturated genres out there, but there are some gems around those oversaturated stuff.
Plus, there's a reason that there are a lot of isekais, so the genre must have
Mhm.
done something right.
Yes. I think Isekai got a really big boom because of this one anime which I'm going to mention now, which is definitely ReZero. ReZero is something like the starter for Isekai, which brought the the stone to rolling down the hill.
That was SRO, but SRO was bad.
Yeah, but ReZero was also a great Isekai
True.
contender, so um, a lot of people got more into isekai because of ReZero.
It was one of the first actually good isekais. We can agree on that point.
Yes. ReZero is basically a story about Subaru who gets reincarnated into another world, and he has the ability to come back when he dies. Um, yes, a very good story and stuff.
It's also like a game with
Hmm.
his respawn ability.
Yes, he can return time and then change the course of history. Yes, ReZero, you should definitely watch it if you like stuff like. Is there a series that you could compare ReZero to, like a real life is series?
Uh, yes and no. I have only one example. Where example is a movie which is based upon a manga, funnily enough. Do you know the movie Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise?
Yes.
It's based on a manga. What is the name again? All You Need Is Kill. Where he also respawns in the end and gets even further with his knowledge.
Ah, okay. Yes. But it's definitely some unique isekai you definitely have to check out because ReZero is goated, and after this episode I have to watch the newest episode of ReZero. So yeah, I'm a big ReZero fanboy.
Solid recommendation indeed.
And for my next one is, which is a very or a little bit controversial because the light novel readers know that this story is a little fucked up at some points. And the manga is different, so there's a big controversy. It is Mushoku Tensei. Have you heard about the light novel beginning?
No. But I mean, the main character is kind of controversial as well, so.
Yes, he is. He did some pretty nasty stuff with his family after being reincarnated, like some incest stuff and stuff like this. And in his real world, he had Cam in her sister's shower.
A peeping Tom.
Like, bro is down bad. Holy shit. Yes, but the anime lets this all out, which is definitely better because you can watch it without any background noises.
Questionable stuff.
Yeah, like if you see someone peeping in the shower at the first episode and then he gets reincarnated and some gets a new family, then you would like, bro, this man has a new family. Something like this.
It's not deserved that he's getting a second chance.
Yeah. Um, yes, but overall, let's only talk about the anime itself. It's a very good anime, which you could definitely enjoy without any yeah, um, background noises.
Top tier animation, production, music, and character development.
Yes, exactly. And of course, my last one has to be No Game, No Bitches.
We've
I
mentioned it
like,
before.
yes. No Game No Life is something like my everyday anime that I talk about in
It's a
the
coping.
episodes. I mean, I talk about it a lot in the episodes. You
And I like
can
to
you can
front you about it.
yes. You can check out other episodes and you will hear like once every 2 episodes, No Game No Life.
Or shorts. Or
Mm,
highlight shorts.
yes. No Game No Life is very high presented.
Yes.
Um, yes, but I really love the setting of No Game No Life. You get reincarnated and everything is decided by games. Wars are decided by games. Territory is decided by games. If you can do stuff with a girl is decided by a game. Yeah, and I love the game setting. I love games myself, so I love this anime.
Unfortunately for No Game No Life, it is cleared by Alice in Borderland. It's really sad, but it is what it is. You can also argue that it's kinda an isekai Alice in Borderland, so
But there aren't games.
yes, that's the thing about Alice in Borderlands. Everything is a game. That's the thing.
Yes, but there aren't like chess, like card games. What else are there games? A game where you have to name something and the other one has to name something from the end letter of the
Yes, Alice
thing
in
the other
Borderlands
one
has
meant.
real games, which are better. More suspenseful, higher stakes. Not for food.
Huh? In No Game No Life, a race gets demolished if they lose their chess piece. Like they have no right then if they lose their chess piece in a game.
Yes, happens. There's one
Like
who also dies. Same stakes.
in the latest in the last few episodes, our main protagonist gambled with the whole human race on a video game. And of course he wins because he's the main character.
Plot armor.
So if he would have lost, the human race would go extinct.
Oh no, shocking.
There's a very good anime. Go check it out. No Game No Life. But you will have tears in your eyes after hearing no second season.
Well, you will be happy, like me, so I can front him.
Yes, so that's my three for Isekai.
For my next genre, I have just two, because it's the most subjective genre. It's comedy. And a great comedy manga or anime has one important goal. You should laugh your ass off. But humor is subjective, so I'm just going to recommend you shows and say why I like them. First thing, Great Blue Dreaming. It's the funniest manga with way over the top humor, great artwork, and you can actually learn a bit of life on finding a new hobby that you're passionate about. That's very well depicted in the show. And my next recommendation is Eminence in Shadow. For me, the funniest isekai and the funniest subversion of isekai tropes. Not Konosuba, Eminence in Shadow is way better than that. The humor is over top as well, and the MC is a funny dumbass. So that was my comedy speedrun. Because it's hard to recommend comedy, because humor
Yeah,
is subjective. So I can
yes.
just name the shows, you can watch them. If you like them, great. If not, we have different humor. That's just it.
Hmm. Okay, let's go on to my next genre, which is the horror genre.
Ooh,
There are some nice horror genres which I enjoy, and the first one is Another. Have you watched Another?
no.
Um, I got into Another, which is a funny story, because I saw a clip of a girl falling down the stairs with an umbrella, and she fell on the umbrella with her eye, and her eye got pierced into her brain, and she died because of that.
I saw that
And
panel online
I
somewhere.
was laughing my ass off because of it, and then I wanted to check it out
I see.
because it was a meme. So that's why I laughed. I didn't laugh because she died. Um, yes. So basically, the premise is there's always one person too much in the classroom. So to get the order back, one has to die because they can't find the one who's too much. So yes, a lot of people dying there, and at the end, it's like a war game to find out who's the one who's too much.
Sounds like Among Us. Some sus traitors need
At
to be
the end,
found out.
it's really some kind like Among Us. Like the last few episodes are like Among Us.
I see.
Yes, it's a great show which has some pretty terrifying scenes. And for my next one, I have Shiki. You have watched Shiki, right? I recommended it to you, right?
No.
Oh, I wanted to, but it's not on your streaming service.
Yes, I remember that you wanted to recommend me something that wasn't available.
Hmm.
It was a long time ago.
So basically, Shiki is about a village which is bleached by mysterious deaths, and over the time you learn more about the cases of their deaths, and you come to a conclusion what is responsible for it, and yes, you can follow the story if you watch Shiki, which is very interesting. And yeah, it has some terrifying scenes, actually.
Sounds also quite mysterious.
Yes, but you will get through the case pretty fast. You know it faster than the villagers, but when the villagers notice what's happening, it got pretty good. Yes, and for my last one, hmm. s- ooh.
You can just do two. I have just two as well for the last genre, so.
Wait, I will go with an edgy horror anime,
Aha.
which is Elfenlied,
I thought you
because
were going to recommend. How was it? Miroko-chan? It's also edgy
nah,
horror.
nah, it's not very horrific.
Yes.
But Elfenlied, I was scared of the main character because she killed people in the first episode, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It's very brutal.
Uh, yes, it's very brutal, very edgy. Go check it out, Elfenlied.
It's old school classic.
Mm, every like you know the opening. It's such an iconic anime opening.
Yes. Then I have one last genre that I've saved for the last because it's the best. It's the historical genre. Who would have thought that the guy who studies history is recommending you this genre? Shocking!
Yeah, very shocking.
The first one is Vinland Saga. It's set in the Middle Ages in the Viking period. The Vikings were raiding England. And
Mm.
Vinland Saga is probably the manga where I have learned the most about how to live together with other humans. Because we have no enemies. There's also great action for the younglings, and Vinland Saga has some of the best written characters in fiction, like Askeladd, Thorfinn, and Hildre. So, check it out, Vinland Saga is goated. The second series is Innocent from the GOAT, Shinichi Sakamoto, and his works in general fit my definition for a great manga the best. Because for me, a great manga is the perfect synthesis of great storytelling like we have in novels and great artwork or aesthetics like we have in movies or video games. And I think Innocent and Sakamoto's work achieved this like no other. And Innocent is set before the French Revolution in a time of decadence, so it shows you why decadence is a bad thing. Perfect. And you can also learn a lot about acceptance, idealism, and finding your own way in life. And it's just art to read. Do you have another genre or
Yes, I have one last one too.
nice?
And it's the sports genre.
True. Forgot.
Hmm. Because I do sports. So my first one for sports anime is, who would have thought that I would pick Blue Lock?
Shocker.
And yes, Blue Lock got me reading the manga after the U21 match. So it's good. Because I wanted to check out how the NEL is going to progress and stuff. And now that it's done, I am very sad about one specific decision which was made. I don't want to spoil you, but it's pretty annoying in my opinion. But yes, overall the Neo Heroes League was a pretty good arc for evolving Isagi into a better player. I liked it a lot. Blue Lock is a very, very good sports anime. Even though season 2 has some like PNG PowerPoint presentation animations,
Slideshow.
yes, it's still good. So for my next one, who would have thought that I would pick Girls and Panzer? I'm glazing Girls and Panzer a lot. I like it. I like the Panzer battles in this anime. I like the tournament that is happening and why you have to win in this tournament is also special.
Competition is in general really important for the sports genre.
Yes.
It's what makes it great.
So this anime is really good and I really enjoyed it. If you like sports anime on Panzer, then go check out Girls and Panzer.
A unique combination indeed.
Mm. So other than that, I don't have anything for sports anymore. I don't watch that much sports anime, but those two are those shows that I watched in sports, so yeah.
And I think that's it for this episode if you don't have anything to add.
Nope, I don't have anything.
Then I hope we could give you a starting point for your journey as an anime watcher or manga reader, and hopefully gave you some solid recommendations in the end.
Hmm.
Then what will we do next episode?
So for the next episode, we will take a closer look at villains. We will talk about their anatomy, like how they evolved over the time and stuff, and everything related to villains.
An evil episode.
Hmm. I
Oh,
mean, we
nice.
could have done it in Halloween, but we do it next week.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's it for this episode.
Then have a nice whatever time of your day it is. Bye.
Uh, bye.